Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Tuesday, the 16th of March. Hi, I'm Paul. I'll be your host this morning. In the news today, we have the speak with the cricket, with the test match has finished between Afghanistan and gone blank, Zimbabwe. We've got the updates on NRL from the fitness of players. We've had two races in the America's Cup, and finally we have a leader. And updates from the NBA and the NBL in the basketball. Also, we will bring you up to speed with the A-League, where the Wellington Phoenix were in action last night. We'll round up those golf tournaments in the PGA and the European Tour, as well as bring you up to speed with how Joel King is going in the squash, and we've also had the BMX National Championships down in Rotorua. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And let's start down in Rotorua for the BMX National Championships. Congratulations to Tiamutu rider Rebecca Petch, who won the women's title. She won all three of the races to claim that one. It wasn't quite so easy for Michael Bias from North Harbour, who foot slipped off the pedal on the first race, but he won the second and third to win the title by just one single point in that one. So congratulations to both of them for picking up their national titles, or defending their national titles at the BMX Nationals down there in Rotorua. Moving on then to the golf, and just to wrap up then the PGA, where Denny Lee missed the cut. Jay Thomas won that one at 14 under par. Just from Lee Westwood. And over on the European Tour, the Catalan Master Rosner from France won that one at 8 under, ahead of chasing group, just one shot behind. Over to the States for the NBA action, and there were 9 games yesterday, including the Warriors beating the Jazz 131-119. The 76ers picking up that win 134-99. But also the Pelicans took on the Clippers, and the Pelicans came out strong, winning the first quarter by 12 points, 36-24. The Clippers tried a bit of a comeback in the second quarter, but really this was sealed in the third quarter, where again the Pelicans dominated 43-26 for a big win, 135-115. Leading the way, Zion Williamson got 27 points, Brandon Ingram 23, and Lonzo Ball 20 in that one. For the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard got 23 points, but didn't get enough support from the rest of his players there in that one. So a good win for the Pelicans. Looking at the table then, that means over in the Eastern Conference, 76ers still top there, ahead of the Nets and the Bucks. The 76ers now on a 5-game winning streak there. On the Western Conference, with the Jazz losing, but they still at the top, ahead of the Suns and the Lakers. The Suns also have just lost. That win by the Pelicans was on a 2-game winning streak, which actually is the longest winning streak at the moment in the Western Conference. Shows you how tight that one is, with all the teams losing. The Pelicans in 11th place currently. No action in the NBL. They'll be back in action on Friday, with the Kings taking on the Melbourne United and the Wildcats taking on the Taipan. So no action there in that one. In the A-League, though, we did have one game yesterday between the Western Sydney Wanderers and the Wellington Phoenix. And the boys on the Knicks newsletter will have plenty to talk about on Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. As this one finished 4-3 in in the end, with Western Sydney Wanderers coming out on top in this one. This is after the Wellington Phoenix took the lead early with the Ulises Davila scoring after just 7 minutes. Things were evened up by the Wanderers, only for the Phoenix to take the lead again just after the half-hour mark with Cameron Devlin at halftime, though. So for a 2-1 lead at halftime. In the second half, the Western Sydney Wanderers even things up again just for Tomer Hemed to score to put the Wellington Phoenix back in the lead again. But 2 goals after that saw Western Sydney Wanderers win this one 4-3. So cracking game for to be talked about on Wednesday evening. Shame about the result there. Over into the NRL, and the Warriors have got a serious setback as Ewan Aitken has an ankle injury. It happened during the game, and he played on at the weekend. Unfortunately, he's going to have to go have an operation on his ankle, and is looking at missing between 8 to 10 weeks for that one. On to the squash then, and Joel King came through with a comfortable win against Nadine Shaheen of Egypt. She won 11-5, 11-9, 11-3 in just 28 minutes. The last March, Joel had lost 3-0 to Nadine, but as Joel says, her game has progressed massively since then. So very good job there for Joel King, who is the 7th seed in the CIB Black Ball Open over there in Egypt. She will now be facing number 4 seed Hayana El Hamani, who won her game with 3 sets, 11-6, 11-5, 11-6 as well, to come straight through. So a tough 4th round there for Joel King against Hani El Hami. That is due to take place at 6:30 a.m. New Zealand time on Wednesday. So it will not. We won't have the result. Well, we're unlikely to have the result for our show then. So probably be up to speed on Thursday with that one. Over in the cricket then. Yes, we had that test match between Afghanistan and Zimbabwe. Afghanistan put on a big score, 545, before bowling out in Zimbabwe for 287. They enforced the follow-on. We talked about this last night on Swinging from the Hip, which you can watch the recording or listen to the podcast on New Zealand Sports Radio. Which has become popular not to enforce the follow-on, but Afghanistan did. Zimbabwe made a better fist of it the second time round, scoring 365. Top score there, Sean Williams 151, being joined by Donald Tiripano, who is 9 in the batting order, scoring 95. So a very good innings from him. 7 wickets for Rashid Khan in that one. Afghanistan then had a target of 108, and they knocked that off for the loss of 4 wickets for a 6-wicket win, and to tie the series 1-1. You have now started the day the best way. Oh, sorry, the America's Cup action. Geez, I very nearly forgot that one. Just to finish us off, and 2 races yesterday. Up until this point, all the races had been won by the team that had made the best start, and it was 3-3 coming in to yesterday. That was also changed, though. In the first race, Luna Rosa made the better start and had a 10-second lead at the second gate. But Emirates Team New Zealand were to absolutely blast down the next one, making the first pass of the finals, and then held on to that lead. It was very light winds yesterday, making it tricky conditions, as we found out in the second race. But that gave Emirates Team New Zealand a 4-3 start. Again, Luna Rosa made the better start of the 8th race, and were leading on the through the first gate. On the second leg, the Emirates Team New Zealand turned just behind Luna Rosa after closing the gap, but that meant that they hit a little some wind pocket and fell off their foils, allowing Luna Rosa to pick up a 4-minute lead. Emirates Team New Zealand got themselves back up on their foils and kept on chasing. And then at the top of the mark, Luna Rosa then fell off their foils too in light conditions. This allowed Emirates Team New Zealand to close the gap. Luna Rosa had 2 penalties for going off the course as well, and what was a 4-minute and 20-second advantage at one gate turned into a 4-minute and 6 deficit to Team New Zealand, who went on to win that and now lead 5-3 after those 2 races back out on course E. Team New Zealand now just need 2 more wins to secure the title. They can do that today. Again, the forecast is not clear. We could have light winds, or the winds could be picking up. So we'll have to see how that one all pans out. Obviously, we'll let you know here tomorrow morning on the morning sports briefing at 7 a.m, where we come to you every day. Also, this evening we have the Driving Mall Show at 8 p.m, your weekly fix of all the best rugby news and opinions. You have started your day the best way, through all the important sports news. Have a fantastic Tuesday, folks.